public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak, once recognized, shall stand at the microphone, state their name and address. Don't have to do the address. Speakers will be allowed up to 3 minutes of speaking for themselves or 5 minutes of speaking on behalf of a group. I will ask the speakers to refrain from remarks that are poor in taste, slanderous, or not germane to any action taken or contemplated by the board this evening. Mr. Barnes. Burns. I'm sorry, Mr. Burns.
Are we limited to any topic tonight, or?
Topic of your choice. Go ahead, sir.
So what are, my concern is, I want to address the forecast for next year's budget, 2000, based on this last calamity that happened. So the general public, or I should say the resident homeowners of Fredonia have some, some idea what's going to happen, as opposed to just having this sprung on us a month, 6 weeks before the vote on a tax increase like last time.
This is your chance to speak. It's not good.
I think you have to.
Our finances.
I think the public has to be appraised of this.
Our finances are online every month on our website,
Yeah.
So there's a running track record of what's going on.
Okay, well, that's an accounting, but I think the public has to be better, there has to be more discourse with the public over this.
Okay.
I mean, do you think the public is gonna sustain another 60% tax increase?
That's not the goal, sir.
That's not the goal.
Well, let's take a look at the last 20 years. If you want to have discourse, let's have discourse. Let's take a look at 20 years. A third, hang on, a third of our,
This isn't a back
excuse me,
and forth.
a third of our,
This is time.
If I might make a suggestion, if you and Mike would like to have a conversation outside of this time, that would be the place to have that would be the time and place to have that conversation. Because truly, the public portion is not for back and forth. It's
Okay,
not what
that's
it's meant
fine.
for.
That's fine, I don't know the rules, that's fair.
No, that's
okay.
okay.
Not a
And
problem.
just
But
know
all's
that
fair in love and
all,
war, and I'll do whatever I have to do to make the public aware what's going on. It just, to me, it's just totally, it's an abomination. What happened a few months ago, and it's just totally irresponsible that there's no hard decisions being made to curtail this spending. I mean, you could trade circus animals to sit behind on this board just to look at an accounting sheet and say, oh, well, we're short, we just have to raise the taxes. Come on, there's no hard choices being made here. That's all I have to say.
okay, and so I would say all our numbers are available online. You could call.
Okay, I want to know what I want to get out of this, and you don't have to say anything back. What's this Board of Trustees doing?
Call and find out. Let's have that
Okay.
conversation.
I don't want to hear about parking meters and.
Call and we can have that conversation.
What was the last thing? Was the parking meters? And the water situation is going to be the least of everyone's worries in this town. Whether it's the reservoir being fixed or whether it's the hooking into another district's water, increase of 4 times water rates, big deal. You have to start making some hard choices and rein this in and start eliminating some positions, because that's the crux of this. Not bringing in a few bucks over new parking meters. That's all I have to say, but I will do everything in my power to, again, you just can't look at an accounting sheet and say, well, this is what we're short, this is what we have to do. It's like you could train a junior high student council to do that. To sit there and say, okay, this is what we have, we're gonna have to raise the taxes. There's no deliberation or hard decisions being made there. But
okay,
thank
so
you.
we made you the offer to come and talk to us at any time.
Okay.
I'll make sure we get your phone number. And it's been over 3 minutes. Thank you. That ends tonight's public portion. We'll close the public portion and correspondence.
Correspondence dated August 8, 2025 was received from Fire Chief Joshua Myers requesting Sarah Whitfield be removed from the active role of volunteer fire department.
Be resolved that the name Terry Whitfield be removed from the active role of the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Wandell?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Correspondence dated August 13th, 2025 was received from Police Officer Adam Tanner resigning his position from the department effective August 28th, 2025.
Be it resolved that the resignation of Adam Tanner as a full-time police officer with the Village of Fredonia is effective August 28, 2025.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Wandell?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Okay, our report, we had on the 5th of the month, we had our end of the summer program wrap up with Kayla and her team for the summer program, summer rec program. We want to thank her, and we want to thank Trustee Twitchell and her team for, and we also want to thank Town of Pomfret for the Fredonia Pomfret summer season. They did a wonderful job yet again, and we would be remiss if we did not thank John Gullo for his participation, as well as everybody who took part in that program this summer. On the 5th, we did a proclamation for Dewey Winchell this time at Fredonia Place, recognizing his 100th birthday. Besides serving in the armed forces, Dewey was also a former Fredonia police officer. Paul Wendell and I had conducted a meet the candidate tour of the water treatment plant. I met with the candidates to discuss current issues with them prior to their race in November. Trustee Wendell gave them a tour of not only the Fredonia but the Dunkirk facility following our meeting. We attended the retirement dinner for Mr. Jefferson Westwood at Fredonia State University, acknowledging his many accomplishments as director of the facilities at Fredonia State, celebrating his retirement after serving over 40 years at the university. We thank him and pleased to see he's going to remain a Fredonia resident. Trustees Paul Wendell and John Esperson joined me in the chamber's discussion concern regarding the upcoming water decision that was set before us. We reviewed the current labella put before us and made recommendations for our next meeting with them later this week. I attended the Fredonia Dunkirk Rotary meeting, which was held at the Fredonia State University to acknowledge and learn about the latest efforts by Fredonia resident Patrick Stokes to help feed the people of the Ukraine during his second trip as a relief manager and pizza maker. Very unique story if you get a chance to talk to Patrick about it or catch his presentations. Just reaching across the boundaries to try to help other people on the planet. Trustee Esperson and I met with department supervisors of DPW to discuss upcoming projects, personnel needs in my chambers. I want to congratulate the crew on completion of this part of the paving season, as well as paving Chestnut Street and a portion of Gardner. We'll begin setting the pavement schedules for our next budget very shortly. And finally, met with New York State finance officials to discuss their upcoming report concerning the village. We look forward to the final draft that will be made public very soon. And that's the end of my report. Trustee committee reports. Trustee Brockler is absent tonight. Trustee Esperson.
Just a couple. The mayor and Trustee Wandell and I met with LaBelle and the Department of Health regarding the chlorination system. Just an update that I got today. The Department of Health, the State Department of Health has approved the plan. Oliver called me today. They're waiting for the third bid to come in for contractors, and they had emailed Urlissa documents that we need to get to the Pomfret code enforcement officer so he can sign off on the plan as well. So we'll be delivering those to him tomorrow. And then the mayor and I met with the representative from the governor's office to discuss grant opportunities for this year and next year. He couldn't stress enough that anything we want, we better try to get this year, because next year is a crapshoot. There may not be as much money available next year, especially because did I say especially? Especially because the federal government is probably not going to make funds available. That's their fear. They're going under that cloud of thought moving forward. And that's all I've got.
Trustee Syracuse.
Farm Festival is this weekend, with the Farm Festival Parade being on Sunday. Also, as a reminder, Village Hall will be closed on Friday due to the Farm Festival. That's all I have.
Trustee Twitchell.
Yes, trustee Wandel and I met with the cable board, and they're requesting a couple of new pieces of equipment, so they'll be able to record the farm festival a little bit easier, and we're looking forward to having that farm festival this coming weekend. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Trustee Wendell.
Thank you, Mayor. August 5th, Water Committee met with Labella Engineering, Chautauqua County Department of Health via Zoom. Discussion included status of the water treatment chlorination upgrade project. Labella will now be pursuing contractors, as Trustee Esperson had just stated. Labella has encouraged the village to pre-purchase the chlorinator pump at $20,000 and the 2,000-gallon sodium hypochlorite storage tank at $20,000. Because of timeline concerns and long lead times, that is the reason. Also discussed was mapping the logistics and timelines of the alternative 2 track. On August 5th, as Trustee Twitchell had just stated, equipment upgrades for remote video broadcasts were presented. This item will allow live streaming video broadcasts wirelessly with a 1-mile line of sight radius. So basically, we can shoot across the park with should be no problem with remote video broadcasts. At that time, I suggested the treasurer's report be presented at village board meetings on the big screen and in graphical format. The benefits are a more user-friendly presentation of village finances for both those in attendance at the meeting and those watching remotely, virtually. August 6th, 2 Democratic primary winners and candidates for village trustee elections this November were invited to the Village Hall Mayor's office, as the mayor had stated, to discuss current issues the village is experiencing. They are Leanne Lazzaroni and Christine Cruz Keefe. After about 1 hour of discussions, we toured the village water treatment plant and then soon followed by the Dunkirk Lakeshore water treatment plant. Each tour lasted about 1 hour and was led by the water treatment plant supervisors. The objective of the tours was to provide a close-up look at the operations at each plant and give them insight to best evaluate the water treatment plant operations and processes. August 7th, Water Committee. I called a meeting with Trustee Esperson and Mayor Ferguson. The objective of this meeting was to communicate water project details in regards to alternative options, along with corresponding timing and dates. The 1 hour meeting was helpful to ensure the Water Committee team was effectively communicating. August 11th, Water Committee. I conducted a 1 hour phone meeting with Labella engineers. They are Oliver Sugarman, civil engineer, and Tim Zook, electrical engineer. The objective was to identify and specify backup generator equipment requirement for the village water treatment plant. The goal is to replace the existing rental 25 kVA backup generator with a pre-owned unit that the village would own and eliminate rental costs that are currently ongoing for about 2 years now. This requires an electrical load study of intermittent and continuous load devices at the plant to ensure adequate capacity of the generator. Labella provided me a fairly comprehensive inventory of all plant devices that they had compiled for the original Labella PER report 2 years ago. I will be meeting the water treatment plant supervisors this week, probably Wednesday, to do the required data gathering. That is then followed by a load study to specify correct equipment sizing, and then followed by searching the marketplace and then providing 3 quotes for equipment purchases. August 13th, water treatment plant meeting with Louis Fred. This meeting was the second to kick off my SOP project for supporting the supervisor to have in place a complete set of SOPs and process policies launched for all water treatment plant activities. Currently, 2 SOPs are complete with an additional 6 to 8 more outstanding. I am estimating another 2 to 3 weeks for completion of this project. Finally, I'd like to conclude with I prepared a personal commentary. Do I have the opportunity to present that right now?
It's your report.
On February 18th of this year, the Chautauqua County Department of Health transmitted a correspondence to the Fredonia Water Committee. It regarded the village water supply assessment. The Chautauqua County Department of Health conducted a site inspection of our village water treatment plant just prior to that date. The inspection is based upon New York State Department of Health sanitary standards and codes. Therefore, the status and health of our existing village water treatment plant and reservoir were evaluated against those standards. I thoroughly reviewed it again this past weekend and quickly realized I must communicate the key points to you today. There is some good news. A total of 11 deficiencies were successfully addressed based on a May 2023 inspection. The Chautauqua County Department of Health commended the water treatment plant and village officials for this work. However, there are a number of significant outstanding deficiencies based on the 2025 inspection report. The list covers 7 pages, including the status of our reservoir, dam, spillways, piping, and numerous water treatment plant deficiencies. I specifically noted that many were considerably dated. In fact, there were deficiencies noted since, I'll go through the list. 2016, 9 years ago, there was 1 deficiency, still outstanding. 2012, 13 years ago, 1 deficiency, still outstanding. This one might grab your attention. 2008, 17 years ago, 5 deficiencies, still outstanding. 2003, 22 years ago, 1 deficiency, still outstanding. What makes this inspection data so outstanding? The fact that it exists and these deficiencies are still not yet resolved. In summary, my point is this: degrading infrastructure issues don't heal by themselves. Do the worn out brakes and tires on your car improve with time? No, they don't. A good steward will maintain, periodically check for minor and especially major issues, and invest the time and money to ensure performance, longevity, and safety. The Village of Fredonia has historically had an extremely poor record of infrastructure maintenance, upgrades, and improvements. Yes, there have been some, but ask yourself, has it been enough? Here is one example to illustrate my point. The village has had 7 water boils in the last 5 years. The good news is we can turn this Fredonia ship around and head it in the right direction. This is our challenge, and the time has come. Making very wise decisions, aggressively pursuing available New York State and federal grant funding, working with adjacent communities, intermunicipalities, sharing services, to name a few. All will help to improve and optimize our village government functions. In summary, these efforts will get us pointed in the right direction. Our future is here. Our future is now. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I want to thank you for your time that you put into these as well, Paul, and your reports on them. I think they tell a lot about what the current structure is, also what the needs are going to be in the near future. So thank you very much for that. Resolution, or actually, Treasurer's report. No, any additional reports?
Yes. Code enforcement. Building permits issued 36, inspection 71, certificate of occupancy 28, certificate of compliance 16, violations 14, violations satisfied 11, fees collected, building permit $7,675, rental fees $1,760, certificate of compliance $1,170, hearings, water, sewer, $200, for total fees, $10,805. Rental inspections, 22. Rental renewals, 10. Property maintenance found, 11. Property maintenance removed, 6. Junk cars and parts found, 3. Removed, 1. Annual fire inspections, 14. Fire notifications, 1. Complaints, 5. 2 satisfied. Stop work orders issued, 2. 36 permits generated $7,675 in revenue. The estimated cost of work for the month of July was $1,434,004.
Thank you. Jimmy, before you go to the next report, I want to take a minute to let the public know the great work that Chuck and Tom are doing in code enforcement. This month was a record month. For the amount of time that Chuck's been here, he said he hasn't seen as many new build permits. When you say new build permits, not just homes. In fact, there's about 5 new homes going up in the area for those that think that we're losing people. And the rest are renovations of current homes, either from college housing to residential housing, or other things that are going on throughout the community. So I want to congratulate them for their diligence. There were a number of things that I had on their projects this year that, again, had been ongoing in the past, complaints from residents, and we were able to resolve those and move forward. So thank you to the code enforcement folks and all the people who do just such a great job. We appreciate it. Court report, please.
Village of Fredonia Justice Court, July 2025, vehicle and traffic, 112, criminal cases, 56, village ordinances, 2, civil cases, 9, ABC laws, 1, total number of cases closed, 180, total fines and surcharges, 5,273, parking ticket fines, $1,499, for a total of $6,772.
Thank you. Resolutions.
Be it resolved that the regular and overtime payrolls of the various village departments and bills approved by the Finance Committee and set forth in abstract numbers 771 through number 774 are hereby approved and directed, paid, and available in the village clerk's office, 911 Church Street, Fredonia, New York.
Second.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the training request of Louis Fred, Chief Operator at the Water Treatment Plant, to attend the 2025 Tip Water Supply Symposium, Syracuse, New York, on September 16 to 18, 2025, is hereby approved in the amount not to exceed $1,000.
Second?
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York, a public hearing must be held in the adoption of proposed local law number 4 of 2025, a local law amending Section 287-2A of the Code of the Village of Fredonia to provide a change in water rates. Notice of such public hearing published in the official newspaper Observer. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia hereby schedules a public hearing on the 2nd day of September 2025 at 5 p.m. in the Trustees Room, 2nd floor in Village Hall, 911 Church Street, Fredonia, New York, to receive comments on the proposed local laws, and be it further resolved that the village clerk is hereby directed to publish notice of said hearing pursuant to village law. Local
Second.
law
Oh,
number
sorry.
4 of 2025. This local law shall be entitled Local Law Amending Section 287-8A of the Code of the Village of Fredonia to provide for an increased water rate. Be it enacted by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia as follows. Section 1, Section 287-8A of the Code of the Village of Fredonia, last amended on February 19th, 2024, by Local Law number 1 of 2024, is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 287-8A, rates for metered water service within the Village of Fredonia. A, for water supplied by the Village of Fredonia from and after September 2nd, 2025, and for each quarterly period thereafter, the following rates are hereby fixed and shall be collected on all water metered service within the Village of Fredonia at a rate of $7.60 per 1,000 gallons. Note, water rates to the Town of Pomfret and Town of Dunkirk water districts or other outside of village water customers shall be increased accordingly as provided by the contracts with the Village of Fredonia and such outside water customer. Section 2, this local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State of the State of New York as required by law.
Second?
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York, a public hearing must be held in the adoption of proposed local law 5 of 2025, a local law amending Section 237-15D of the Code of the Village of Fredonia to provide a change in sewer rates. Notice of such public hearing published in the official newspaper, The Observer. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees, the Village of Fredonia hereby schedules a public hearing on the 2nd day of September 2025, 5:15 p.m. in Trustees Room, 2nd floor, Village Hall, 911 Church Street, Fredonia, New York, to receive comments on the proposed local law. Be further resolved that the village clerk is hereby directed to publish notice of said hearing pursuant to village law. Local law number 5 of 2025, this local law should be entitled Local Law Amending Section 237-15D of the Code of the Village of Fredonia to provide for an increased sewer charges. Being enacted by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia as follows. Section 1, Section 237-15D of the Code of the Village of Fredonia, last amended on September 1st, 2022, by local law number 5 of 2022, is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 23715, sewer rents, sewer meters. For sewer supplied by the Village of Fredonia from and after September 2nd, 2025, and for each quarterly period thereafter, the following rates are hereby fixed and shall be collected on all water metered service within the Village of Fredonia. Minimum charge of $30 per quarter, at a rate of $8 per 1,000 gallons. Note, water rates to the Village of Pomfret, Town of Dunkirk, water districts, or other outside of village water customers shall be increased accordingly, as provided by the contracts of the Village of Fredonia and such outside water customer. Section 2, this local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State, State of New York, as required by law.
Second.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York, a public hearing must be held on the adoption of proposed local law number 6, local law establishing Chapter 350 of the Village Code entitled Battery Energy Storage System. Notice of such public hearing published in the official newspaper, The Observer. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia hereby schedules a public hearing on the 2nd of September, 2025, 5:30 p.m. Trustees Room, 2nd floor, Village Hall, 911 Church Street, Fredonia, New York, to receive comments on the proposed 2025 local law, which is on file in the office of the Village Clerk of the Village of Fredonia, and be further resolved, the Village Clerk is hereby directed to publish notice of said hearing pursuant to village law.
Second.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Be resolved that the mayor has permission to sign the award acceptance of the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation wastewater infrastructure engineering plan grant in an amount not to exceed $50,000, with the village's portion to be 20%.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 520 of Village Law, the following budget transfers are hereby approved. $770.25, A2770 miscellaneous income grants to H8989.2 cable equipment.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Whereas the village received a grant through the franchise agreement for new equipment for the cable department, and whereas the cable department has selected to purchase an Axon, oh boy, Axon ViewMaster 4K SDI HDMI wireless transmission system and Generate batteries and charger kit for $770.25. And whereas the cable equipment is suitable for the village's purpose. Therefore, be it resolved, the village board hereby authorizes the purchase of an Axon Cine ViewMaster 4K SDI HDMI wireless transmission system and Generate batteries and charger kit for $770.25.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Be resolved, the fire department has permission to use the following vehicles for training purposes will no longer be part of the village's asset inventory. A 2003 L200 Saturn, VIN number 1G8JU54F13Y580301. 2017 Ford Explorer, VIN number 1FM5K8AR7HGC56727.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Okay, we do have a walk-on, but before we go to the walk-on, I will read the contract proposal, and that's what the walk-on will be. Actually, Trustee Wendell and Esperson, do you want to put this, well, let's read it first. The renewal of Plaza 59 Water and Sewer District Agreement between the Village of Fredonia and Town of Dunkirk, located on the easterly side of Route 60 in the Town of Dunkirk, New York. This agreement made this 15th day of November 2022 by and between the Village of Fredonia, a municipal subdivision of the County of Chautauqua and State of New York, party of the first part, herein called Village in the Town of Dunkirk, a municipal subdivision of the County of Chautauqua and State of New York, party of the second part, hereafter called Town. Witness, whereas the town and village have herefore signed an agreement dated March 9, 2025, for the sale of water and treatment of wastewater to the town for use in the water district known as the Plaza 59 Water District and Sewer District, known as Plaza 59 Sewer District, a copy of which is attached hereto. And whereas said agreement has previously extended and renewed on August 25th, 2015, extending the terms through August 31st, 2020. Whereas the parties previously agreed to extend the term from September 1st, 2020 through August 31st, 2025, but said agreement was not memorialized in a writing signed by both parties. And whereas the town and village are desirous of confirming the renewal and extension of said agreement from September 2020 through August 31st, 2025, the same terms and conditions set forth in the agreement. Now it is mutually agreed as follows. The said water and sewer district between the town and village dated March 9, 2005 is hereby renewed under the same terms set forth in both said agreement from September 1st, 2020 through August 31st, 2025. A witness whereof the parties hereto pursuant to the duly adopted resolutions of the parties have caused this agreement to be signed by its duly authorized officials and corporate seals to hereby be affixed the day and year written above. And it was signed by all four parties.
Whereas the Village of Fredonia and the Town of Dunkirk have previously entered into an agreement whereby the village provides water and sewer services to the Plaza 59 Water District, and whereas this agreement was previously renewed on August 31, 2020, and whereas the term of the current agreement expires on August 31, 2025. Therefore, be it resolved, the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute a 5-year extension of the current agreement ending on August 31, 2030.
Second.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
And I do have a letter. Well, we do have another walk-on, correct? Right? No? I do have a letter given to us by the member of the Fredonia Police Department. August 13, 2025, Dear Chief Price and Village of Fredonia, I would like to offer my resignation, making this my formal 2-week notice, which will make my final day as a member of the Fredonia Police Department, Wednesday, August 27, 2025. I accepted a position with the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office effective August 28, 2025. Thank you to the administration and members for everything. I would not be the man I am today without my time in the Village of Fredonia. However, I am excited to start my new path and continue accomplishing goals in my new agency. Upon being hired by the Village of Fredonia Police Department nearly 5 years ago, it had not been my intention to move on. However, being a police officer is a career with endless opportunities and avenues, many of which simply are not available within the Village of Fredonia Police Department. Thank you to the Fredonia Police Department for allowing me several opportunities to grow not only in my career, but also personally. Thank you to all the members of the Fredonia Police Department, past and present, who have become like family and have been here in memories that will last a lifetime. These are relationships I hope to maintain after my departure. Sincerely, Adam M. Tanner. And Adam, we want to thank you for your service to the community for the past 5 years and wish you well on your way.
I make a motion that we end the board meeting.
Second.
Trustee Wandel?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse?
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next Village of Fredonia Board of Trustees workshop will take place Wednesday, August 27th, 2025 at 9 a.m. The Board of Trustees meeting on Monday, August 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. here in the trustee room, second floor, Village Hall, board meeting. Take care, everyone. Be safe. God bless.